Welcome to another episode of Meal Prep Monday. I'm your host, Allison Schaaf, and today is part 2 on an episode that we did. Maybe it's been a few months back at this point, but I did an episode on top blogs for recipes. And what I've done is I've pulled everyone on the Prep Dish team. So I got about half the team on the first episode. And on this one, I got kind of the rest of the team to chime in on their top blogs that they use for finding recipes. And it's been an interesting practice because I talked about this a little bit on the first part, but just kind of seeing how people search for recipes because, some people, it's more of like a Google search or using Pinterest or that sort of thing. So we'll go into that a little bit because some people gave me more of the kind of general how they search. And then, of course, they provided some new ideas for blogs for some good recipes. Before diving in, though, a reminder that if you have not tried our time-saving meal prep meal plans, you can text the number 33777, and you're going to text the word meal prep, all one word, and we'll send you a free week. That's a great way to try out some new recipes. If you're looking for new recipes, is try out that meal plan. So text the number 33777 and the word meal prep. Or you can also go to prepdish.com/MPM, which will be linked in the show notes. That's the best way if you really want access to all of our recipes and meal plans, because you will get a login to see all of the meal plans, including archives, and try us out for 2 weeks and just see what you think. So if you have not tried out Prep Dish, that is a good opportunity to just see if it is a fit for you. And if you decide it is not, you can always cancel at any time. Okay, so let's get started on the top food blogs per the Prep Dish team. So I will start with Kaylee. So I really wanted to get Kaylee's ideas because she does recipe development, and I was curious to see what blogs she likes. And they were actually all ones I've heard of and that I have used from time to time as well. So one of them is Pinch of Yum. She said that she does have to adapt them to make them gluten-free, but she really likes her flavors. I agree. That's one that I have liked. Minimalist Baker, definitely one that I have gone to over the years. I feel like you can tell that hers are really well tested. Like there's certain people that like test their recipes and it comes through, right? And then there's others where you make them and you're like, this has not been tested. And I would like to think, Prep Dish is in the category of we test them because we do, usually multiple times. So anyway, but Minimalist Baker has some good recipes. And then the other one she mentioned is Real Food Dietitians. I love that she mentioned them. I have actually met them a time or two, and I feel like in the past we've worked with them a little bit. And of course, being a dietitian myself, I always love promoting other dietitians, but they are great. And they just put out a cookbook as well, which I have not purchased, but it's on my list. So they are great to check out. And I am also a fan of their recipes. Okay. And then Helen, who's also involved in recipes, she actually helps with some of our recipe testing and editing, as well as customer service. And she said first, that Prep Dish recipes are the majority of what she makes. So that's great. But she also uses venison for dinner. She said this is a great site for simple, whole food, and good for large family-friendly recipes. I actually hadn't heard of that one and now have added it to my list. Especially, I like the fact that it's for larger family. I feel like more and more as my household has expanded, with my mom moving in and multiple caretakers, our meal time has grown. Like the number of mouths we are feeding at mealtime continues to grow. So that sounds like one that I would like. And then the other one she said is This Pilgrim Life. That also is one that I hadn't heard of. And she said she does that for all things Instant Pot. So another one I need to check out. And I am also a big fan of the Instant Pot, especially, in January and February when my oven was broken. So I wish I would have known about that one a few months ago. And then she said, otherwise, she just does a Google search for recipes, which that's kind of my MO as well. But like I said about the well-tested recipes, I do find it's better to kind of know the blog and know the blogger so that you're kind of getting a quality recipe. But I do end up kind of reverting to a Google search. But I'm hoping with this episode and the last episode I did with ideas that hopefully I can get you guys some, good quality blogs to find recipes so you're not just doing the Google search. Okay. And then Lucia, who helps with our social media, she gave some tips on how she finds recipes. And it should be no surprise that she looks up hashtags on Instagram. Um, so, and then she'll find blogs from there. And then in the future, we'll kind of explore those blogs. So, not surprised. She also said that she will do a Google search and Pinterest as well. So kind of uses all those different ways of searching. So that's kind of her tactic. And then from there, just a reminder, like as Helen mentioned, we do have a blog on Prep Dish. About a year and a half ago, we spent a lot of time going back. We have recipes going back how many years? I'm trying to think. I think it's from like 2014 or whenever the site launched. Like the blog launched pretty much at the same time. So there are recipes up there from like 8 years plus. And we went back and categorized all of them, tagged all of them. I say we, that was actually a few people on my team. They know who they are. So thank you very much. That was a very time-intensive, tedious process. So the good news that came out of that is now we have a search feature. So I'll link in the show notes. So you can go directly to that page. But we have like a blog search feature where you can search by type of recipe if you're looking for a salad or a dessert or a main dish or, a chicken, something that has chicken in it. You can go and search our recipes that way. I know this is also helpful. A lot of Prep Dish subscribers, if you have a favorite recipe from a meal plan, a lot of our meal plan recipes are up on the blog, but not all of them. We do try and post ones on the blog if they're one that we know a lot of people like, okay, this is a favorite recipe. And if you are a Prep Dish subscriber and there's one that is a favorite and it's not on there, let us know. We're always happy to put it on the blog. That's one of the ways they get on the blog is just that we know that people like them and want an easy way to access them. So, that's another way you can go about. You can just put Prep Dish, Google Prep Dish and the name of the recipe. I know I do this a lot for just different Prep Dish recipes, like our cornbread recipe. I always put Prep Dish and cornbread or specific muffin recipes or energy bites. And, usually for me, it's a lot more baking because baking recipes, I always need something a little more exact. I, can't always just throw things together, even though I would like to try and not use a recipe for baking. It's not recommended. So that is a resource as well. If you follow me on Instagram or a user of Instagram, I'm at Prep Dish and would love to hear from all of you. If you guys have favorite blogs that you use for recipes, if I get a big response, I could always do a follow-up part 3 of this with all of your favorite blogs for recipes. And if you're in our Facebook group, feel free to post there. We could start a thread talking about favorite recipe blogs in the Prep Dish group as well. I think it's always good to kind of find some new blogs for inspiration for recipes. I know I'm always kind of looking to mix it up. And with Prep Dish, we're always kind of looking to keep it fresh and see new ideas that are out there as well. So I hope this is helpful for you and that you are able to find some new delicious recipes. I appreciate you listening. If you enjoyed this episode, I would love it if you could share with a friend, leave a rating or review. All of those things just really help our podcast. And then another reminder that if you are not currently a Prep Dish subscriber and you want to subscribe, you can head to prepdish.com/MPM, short for Meal Prep Monday, and try us out for 2 weeks for free. See if we're a fit. If not, you can cancel free of charge at any time. Okay, thank you for listening. I will be back again next Monday.